Welcome to this Transforming Learning Fife video on Showbie, differentiating content. When building your lessons in Showbie and adding different resources and content, by default, everything is shared with all of the learners that are in your Showbie class. Now, there are times when you'll need to do this, but there'll also be times when you need to differentiate the content. For example, I have this 100 square here, and I don't need all of my learners to have access to this. And I have a few in mind in particular that do need this for support. So you can see here my 100 square and it says all students. If I long press, you can see opens up this menu here, and at the top I can see that it's visible to all students. Now, one of the options might be that I want it to be visible to teachers only, and I could use this if I'm building this assignment before a lesson. But if we tap onto Select Students, I can now start to choose who has access. As a start, I'm going to tap Select None, and then I'm going to choose the learners that need to have access to this 100 square. Then I tap Save. It will give me a little warning to say that I'm going to remove this from some of my learners. That's okay. And now, when I tap onto my learners, I can see that some of them don't have access to this, but the ones that I selected do, and it means that they can make use of that resource to support their learning. When I go back to the materials, you'll now see that rather than saying all students, it now says for students. If I need to change that again, I can long press, visible to, select students, and I can maybe deselect and maybe change who has access. So I can change who has access to any of the content in my Showbie class once I've added it. Another way to differentiate the content is at the top it says sharing new posts with all students. If I click on the drop down, I can now change this. I'm going to select none, and I'm going to select some of my learners. So now anything that I post will only be shared with those 4 learners. So now if I tap the plus, let's go to my photo library this time. And once that's uploaded, that's shared with just 4 students. So you can see it's appeared for this learner here, but not for this one here. I can always tap onto this and I can change which learners this is going to again, or I can simply select all and go back to all students. If there are resources that I want to share with just one learner, I can tap onto that learner and I can just simply post straight into their part of Showbie. And you'll see that that doesn't appear for anybody else. Just appears for that learner. So that's 3 ways that we can differentiate our content. We can post something in to all students and then simply long press and change who it's visible to. We can change who we're sharing new posts with at the top. We could be selecting different groups of learners each time. Or if it's for individual learners, we go directly into their part of Showbie and we can post the content straight to them. So these are the different ways that we can differentiate the access to content that our learners have to support with that differentiation in the classroom.